What you are looking at right now is security camera footage of a fraudulent Indian call center based in the center of Kolkata. It wasn't until a few weeks back that I got access to these cameras. They're security cameras. Having access in this center, on the other hand, is a different story. I got these cameras back in April of this year, but never realized they had these cameras. When I did realize this, I tried to access them, but I could not manage to guess the password, so I had to social engineer Hikvision themselves to change the password for me. The first thing I did, once I got into the CCTV, was mapping out all the cameras and finding out which part of the call center my hijacked computer was in. From the microphone audio of this computer, I knew that my device was in the room with the two girls talking on camera 10, in the fourth call cabinet on the left side of the main corridor. After finding this out, I decided to map out the entire call center, and to make it easier for you guys to understand, I will show you each camera, explain very briefly what you are seeing, and show you the location on a very primitive mini-map of the call center that I drew. Let's start off with the entrance on camera 2. This call center is on the second floor of the Matrix Tower in Salt Lake and thus needs to be accessed with either an elevator or with stairs. The two elevators you see are almost always used to get in and out of the call center, but as an alternative, there is also a stairwell behind the heavy blue door that is always locked and barely used. As you can see, a security guard is sitting at the front desk to prevent intruders from coming in. He's not only there when the center is active, also at 1 AM when everyone is gone and all the lights are off, he is surveilling the entrance. I guess these guys don't know what a door lock is. If we move under the camera and through the door of this room, we get into a small hallway leading to the main corridor. This hallway is visible on camera 1, and from this camera we can partially see the left elevator and a black bench against the wall on the right. The main hallway is to be seen on camera 3. You can see a fragment of the black bench that we also saw on camera 1, and on the left side of the main hallway there's 4 rooms, all having cameras, and all these rooms are occupied by scammers taking calls. Since there's no audio on these cameras, I don't know what scam the people in room 1, 2 and 3 are running, but I'm assuming they all run the same scam, which I will get into in a second. From this footage of a scammer walking into the first room on the left, I know that camera 8 is that first room. You can see that same woman that just walked into that call cabinet on this camera. Room 2 can be seen on camera 9. You can see a guy with a blue shirt and a girl with a grey shirt that can also be seen in the background of room 1. It is the closest room to number 1 and thus number 2. Applying the same method, I found out that room number 3 is on camera 7 and that room number 4 is on camera 10. On the right side of the main hallway there are 6 rooms. The 5 rooms called S or side rooms do not have cameras, so I don't know what's in there. These rooms are a lot smaller, so I'm assuming that they are used for storage. One of these rooms on the right does have a camera, which is called tech. This room is a storage room full of spare computers, headsets, keyboards and hard drives. It's a room full of valuable items, so understandable that they placed the camera in there. At the end of the main hallway you can go to the right or the left, and if you go to the right you will find camera number 11 that captures the kitchen / cafeteria of the call center. If you walk below this camera, there's a restroom where the scammers can urinate and defecate. If you don't want to eat or go to the toilet, you can also choose to go to the left at the end of the hallway, and this side can also be seen from camera 11, but even better from camera 12. This hallway leads to 3 rooms, the boss's office if you go into this first door on the right, and also 2 more call cabinets if you go through this door at the end of the hallway, one on the right and one on the left side. The boss's office can be found on camera 16. Some interesting stuff goes down in there, like payments of people that clean the call center and the security guards, interviews for people that are trying to become a Salt Lake scammer for a living, and also meetings between the higher ups in the company, probably talking about something along the lines of, from what I know, these 3 guys having a meeting are the main bosses. Here are some better pictures of the guy in green. Here is a company picture of the older man from about 20 years ago, and here are some better shots of the big boss that I could most of the time only see from behind. How do I know this is the main man around this call center? Well, he was always sitting in the most comfortable chair in the boss's office, and from this footage we can see that each and everyone gets up and out of the way for this guy like he is some kind of Indian prince. Like I mentioned before, there's 2 more call cabinets at the end of the left hallway. This is what the one on the right looks like, and this is what the one on the left looks like. What is this, you might ask? It is a plastic bag covering the 2 cameras in each corner of this room. Luckily, camera 13 and 14 got uncovered 2 weeks in of me watching them. Here you can see that boss in green again uncovering one of the cameras. Now, what scam do these guys actually run? Before I answer that question, I quickly want to speak about how you guys can learn about ethical hacking as well. Let me rephrase that. if you want to learn absolutely anything, then Skillshare has thousands of courses that can get you started in any branch you may think of. Taking the topic of ethical hacking or cybersecurity, there are 30 videos waiting for you, including videos about protecting yourself online and hours of lessons on how to get started in the cybersecurity field. Skillshare is an online learning community for creative and curious people that want to explore new skills, develop existing interests, and get lost in creativity. I personally really enjoyed this course from Marquette Brownlee teaching about how to get to the next level on YouTube. The first 1000 of my subscribers that click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare so you can start exploring your creativity today. Thanks Skillshare again for sponsoring this video. Now let's continue on with these CCTV scammers that scam. What scam do they actually run? Well, the answer to that question is not as easy as usual. It seems like this call center is experimenting with plenty of different scams in different parts of the world to see what will get them the most money. I have had this specific connection for about 7 months now, and in that time I have seen plenty of different scams pass by. We have, for example, the Amazon night shift scam targeting American phone numbers from this computer, which I recorded in June of 2021, so about 3 months ago.
Thank you for connecting with Amazon customer service. This is Jason. How can I help you? There is some fraudulent people who have got all sorts of your information and they have done that fake order, taking down your identity. That is the reason why we have given you a notification call. No, you have just said me that I'm a stupid. Then why will I tell you the information? I can't hang up the call, sir, because the thing is that we don't have the authorization to hang up our customer on their face. Sadaf.
Another very common and popular scam has also been experimented with on this computer, the Microsoft tech support scam. They ran the scam from early July until late August, but the only difference is that they didn't target American phone numbers this time. They instead tried their luck with potential victims from Germany.
Hello sir, my name is David and I am calling you from Windows Technical Department. This call is about your computer and laptop, okay? This is a service checkup call for your computer. The reason of my call because your computer license ID sending some report our Microsoft department, some failure and one new mistake. An online hacker or infection get inside your computer and misuse your computer some criminal activities. That's the reason, sir, I am calling you and remove all the problem, okay? Okay, I speak German, sir. I speak little German, okay? First of all, sir, you open in your computer, then Microsoft connect your computer our German department.
From the AnyDesk of this hijacked machine, I can see that these scammers also run an early morning shift, trying to scam people from Australia pretending to be from NBN, an internet service provider with its roots in the Australian government. I unfortunately have never actually seen them attempting to scam, as Australia has a time zone that is very hard for me to monitor. This scam works the same as the Microsoft scam, however. The scammer claims that your modem or router is about to expire, or that someone has been using your internet connection and they are going to help you fix this issue. At some point during the call, however, they're either going to ask you for money, for remote access to your computer, or for access to your online banking.
I have to give you the security in your bank. You have to log into your bank by yourself. I don't need anything. I don't want anything with your computer. Okay.
There's also one more different computer that I have in the same call center running a complete different scam. This computer is in the third call cabinet and is running a scam on Indian people pretending to be from Jio, the most popular Indian telecommunications company. They somehow get people in their WhatsApp and sell Jio 5G network towers to be built on the premises of the victim's company. You might be wondering, how is this a scam? The contract only states the victim is getting money and not that they have to pay anything, right? Well, there's also a second document all the victims receive from the so-called Indian Department of Telecommunications, DOT in short. This document states that the victim has to pay a registration charge of 8,590 rupees, roughly 120 USD, after which the scammer then blocks their phone number, leaving the victim behind with their money gone and stolen copies of their identity card, PAN card, land paper and a picture of the victim. As you can see from the scammer's background, there was a lot of files on this machine. Most of these files were the fake Jio contracts, but there was also some other interesting files in between those. These files include 2 pictures of Indian identity cards from people of which I don't know if they are scammers. Furthermore, there's also some screenshots of payments to people from Namita Bhupesh and Arhind The screenshots with the name Namita B are clearly photoshopped compared to the other two names, and so I think that is most likely a fake name. These payments are fake screenshots to convince people to send money to the scammers as an insurance charge on the loan they are taking. Yes, the scammers also run a loan scam from this machine, pretending to be from Reliance Commercial Finance, offering Indian people loans for which they have to pay 6,500 rupees, of which they will get 6,000 back. Very shady if you ask me. Just like with the Geo scam, the scammers will run off with the victim's money after receiving this insurance fee. All these different scams might be a bit confusing, but the shifts that these guys run are actually well structured, and the pattern is very clear to notice when watching them for a few months. The morning shift starts off a new scamming day. The first people come in at 12 PM Indian time, and those include the Germany scammers that instantly move from the entrance to call cabinet 4. Along with the Germany campaign, a bunch of other scammers will fill up call cabinets 1, 2 and 3 from 12 to 1 PM. All these people will have about a 6-hour shift until 6 PM, after which they will all slowly move back out through the elevators. As you can see, at about 5 PM the center is still very active, but 2 hours later at 7 PM the center is pretty much empty. Pretty much empty. Not completely. The people that are left behind are some of the bosses, a security guard and some cleaners. Here you can see someone cleaning the 4th call cabinet with what seems to be an improvised broom made out of a bunch of sticks. This cleaning of the entire call center takes them from 7 PM until 11 PM, so about 4 hours. After they are done cleaning, they will all eat together. The bosses have already left, so the only people that eat together are the cleaners and one security guard. Depending on their mood, the cleaners will then stay until about 12 to 1 AM, after which the security guard is left completely alone. Here you can see that the security guard has locked the door from the elevator entrance to the small hallway at 1 AM with all the lights turned off in the call center. He will then proceed to watch movies on his phone until about 3 AM, and after this he shuts down the lights in the entrance area as well. At this point I thought he would be leaving, but this was not the case. Once he is tired, he tries to get some sleep in on a couch that is down at the bottom left of the screen. He will be able to get about 2-3 hours of sleep before he gets woken up by the first Australia shift scammer that comes in at roughly 6 AM. The Australia scammers will also move from the entrance to call cabinet 4, after which they then turn on their assigned computer and start trying to steal innocent people their money, pretending to be from NBN or Cisco. The first scammer came in at 6 AM. An hour later there's only just 3 scammers casually touching feet, and another hour later there's 9 Australia scammers hard at work. The shift will run from 6 AM until 12 PM, and this is when the Australia scammers will be substituted for the 12 to 6 PM scammer group, including the Germany scammers, which starts off another 24 hours of scamming. This is it for now. I might work with some journalists to storm this call center or mess with the scammers to make another video on them. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down below, and if you know anything about this group or live close to them and want to help, you can always hit me up on Twitter. This video took me months to make, so if you want to buy me a coffee for the effort, you can check out my Patreon and PayPal in the description. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Stay safe, stay cautious. Bye bye.